there, beautiful Sag. This is Heather with Earth Empress. And today we're going to be doing your March 2019 reading. As I've said before in Aries video, I'm so sorry this came a little late. We're going through a little personal things here or there, you know, for the energy and all this stuff. I had some family stuff to tend to. But I am back now. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on your reading. Just a general note, this is an overall reading, general reading. So it's not going to resonate for every Sag out there. And if it does, and if there's something that resonates, take it, beautiful. If it doesn't, feel free to click on one of the other links. There are a ton of amazing, incredible tarot readers out there. So we're going to go ahead and just get started on this. Just do maybe 2 more shuffles and then get this all going for you. Hope you guys are doing great. Hopefully this Mercury retrograde hasn't been too rough on you. I know it's been kicking my butt a little bit, so. But then again, that's the Gemini. Alright, let's get started. Alright, Spirit, so messages for Sag. 2019, March. I'll flip down as well. Okay. Alright, so we have a couple cards. Alright, so let's go ahead and start this first room. So the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is the card of movement, travel, moving forward. I feel like for Sag especially, I was getting this sense at the very beginning before I even started this reading of next chapter. Next chapter, moving forward, time to move on. Oh, wow, yeah. And then at the bottom of the deck's the Magician. That's awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, Aries energy. But the Magician's all about moving forward and manifesting, creating things for yourself. And this 8 of Wands energy is beautiful. It's definitely an energy of coming forward towards some kind of spiritual enlightenment, I feel. The reason I say that birthing and such is the Empress is here. And the Empress is the card of fertility, groundedness, but it's also about creation. It's about coming through, creating something of your very own. And then you have the Moon card coupled with it also. I feel like this Moon is speaking about truths to you. I feel like it's coming through a period of, I don't want to say necessarily darkness, because I don't feel like there was this, I mean, I don't feel like it was an overwhelming, so to say, but then again, I know a lot of Sagittarius in my life that can handle a heavy burden that a lot of people couldn't carry on their shoulders. They always try to find that light, that, you know, next journey, that next step, that next movement they need to be making. This is coming through with the 5 of Cups. So this Empress is moving forward with this creation. I feel like these two especially are connected. I feel like you came to some kind of truth, or there was a truth that was possibly hidden, you know, that needed to have been brought to light. And this 5 of Cups, generally speaking, is a card that speaks about not necessarily depression, but it can be a card of deep sorrow. You know, sitting in a room, contemplating, thinking about the cups that have spilled, the cups that you've lost, the things in your life that you know, wish you could change or want to change, or things you can't change, you know. It's sitting and kind of stewing in the pot a little bit, and sometimes letting it overwhelm you. But we do have this High Priestess, which also speaks about the truth. You definitely have Major Arcana cards. Empress, Taurus. That's me. Have the Moon. And then you have this High Priestess here. And this is definitely a deep spiritual seeking for truth. I mean, it's coming to a point in your life where you want to figure out, how do I explain this? What your life path is, what your goal is, what your mission is in all of this. That's coming after a period of definite, I don't want to say, like I said, depression, but maybe isolation. Maybe there was a point where you just felt like, okay, I need to be alone for a while and sit in this. And then, you know, you came to some kind of truth with it, maybe. Especially with the Moon being there. The Moon definitely sheds light on a lot that's hidden. I had one or two that wanted to pop out, but if they don't pop out, I don't take them. Yeah, because you have this devil energy here. Can be Capricorn related. Again, Major Arcana. You guys are definitely going through some kind of spiritual journey. Universe is throwing it left and right at you. This can also talk about toxicity. It can be, overindulgence in anything, or it can also be being attached to things. You can have definite attachments, definite dependencies, codependency issues, things like that. With let's see which card came next. This one came next. Yeah, so 7 of Wands, yeah. That 7 of Wands, it speaks about, it is a spiritual card in a sense, but it's also about, not destruction, but the breaking down of things. It's definitely a card of conflict, of combativeness, defensiveness, things like that. So maybe that was part of this toxicity that you had. It was a situation you were in, or someone, you're close to that was in, where there was just a lot of toxicity around. There was a lot of, fighting, arguing, engaging, things like that. And it led to it being really defensive. Like you felt like you had to always be on the defense in a certain situation. And then that came forth through a Tower moment. Hold on, sorry. My kitty's over here. She's going crazy. And the Tower moment definitely helps kind of shake the foundation a little bit. Universe usually brings us in to shake up the path that we've been on, to help us become a little bit more enlightened and notice a path that we did not travel on, that maybe we were meant to, or, we're being guided down this way. We're having things broken apart to rebuild the foundation from the ground up. If you repair a house, if the foundation's cracked, you can fix the windows, you can paint the walls, you can do whatever you want to do externally, even internally, so to say. But if you don't fix the foundation that it's built on, it's not going to withstand. It's not going to hold up. And then you have this nice little Swords card coming in here. So King of Swords, gender fluid, male, female, not specific. But this is a definite energy of someone being tactful but speaking their truth. Definitely cutting through the bullshit, so to say, and figuring out what it is for them that's going to lead them down the right path. I feel like this is either someone very close to you, or this is your energy. Maybe you're picking up on this, okay, it's time to figure out my truth, my inner truth, my enlightenment, and then go forth and speak my truth to people. Own who I am. And as a Sag, I kind of see that, because you guys, you'll definitely speak the truth a lot. Sometimes it comes from more of an emotional, passionate place, whereas the King of Swords is almost like the Queen in the fact that they kind of detach a little bit and see all sides of the scenario. So maybe that's what it's being called for after this toxicity and these situations and this battling, internally and externally. You have this Tower moment that comes, and then it brings forth a point where you're like, okay, I need to take a step back and evaluate everything that's going on in this process, everything that's happened, everything that's been said, words been said. If there's anything, harsh that came up during these battles, anything that caused this kind of sorrow that made you feel isolated, made you feel like you were alone. You're going to come to that point where you're like, okay, I'm going to sit and evaluate, and what I need, I'm going to keep in my life, and what doesn't serve me is going to exit my life. That ties into perfectly to this Two of Swords. That Two of Swords is about choices. It's about an internal truth. Again, seeing light, finding truth, finding your path, finding your way. It's like this month is about you taking a journey to find yourself and figure out what is going to work for you moving forward versus, what hasn't worked in the past. What toxic, either internal traits you have or relationships or situations you've been in aren't going to serve you anymore, and making a decision to cut it out. You can't move forward with the same baggage attached, not happily, not fully, not openly. And, most people want to move forward and have the universe hand them these gifts. Well, if you're not open to receiving, and if you don't release what's no longer serving you, then you can't really expect to have space and have gifts come in like that. So let's see. I want to clarify this moon. This moon card, what is this? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. This moon. Oh, wow. You have a lot of cards coming out, Sag. Okay. I'm going to take them. There are quite a few, but we're just going to roll with it because we're making this happen. So the first card that came out was the Seven of Cups and the Death. They came out like almost back to back. So I feel like this truth that's coming through, it's something that With the Seven of Cups, that tends to be somewhat Neptunian disillusionment. So maybe this truth is coming out as something that you thought was what it wasn't. A situation, especially emotionally, where you felt like it was going to be something, and then it ended up not becoming that. I don't know how else to explain that other than you thought someone or something was going to happen and it didn't. You were disillusioned, or you thought that they were someone they weren't. And then you have this Death card, which, it does speak of transformation. It also speaks of endings in a way. So maybe you put an end to this disillusionment, and that's what this moon's all about. Those truths coming through, you just cut it out, you put an end to it, you transformed, you became more truthful and honest with yourself and saw things for what they were. Let's see. Yeah, because again, you have this Nine of Wands. This is that warrior that's been battle-worn. Most of the card, it depicts generally a person standing there with the wand in their hand, and then they have all the wands in the background. And it's about being battle-worn, about being tired of fighting, of the battles, of, pushing through. But it's also a card of hope somewhat. I see it as a card of hope because you're headed towards the Ten of Wands, which is releasing all of that toxicity, all of this baggage, all of this fighting, all of it. It's getting released, and that's what you need. And then you have that Six of Swords coming in. And yeah, that Six of Swords is very, I don't want to say, and my throat's closing up again. I feel like with this card especially, speaking your truth is going to be something that's adamant. Realizing it, but speaking it. Especially with this Queen of Swords. So you now have a king and a queen. And I feel like this is, either someone coming in to deliver some kind of truth, or you finally realizing your inner truth and coming to a point to where you're not afraid to speak it anymore. You know what I mean? Because this Three of Cups, though, this is about celebration. This is a card of coming through. Maybe this point that you've been in, this cycle that you've been in, it's getting you a point to where you can come to terms and celebrate, with someone. It can also speak at third-party situations, and I hate to throw this out there because, a lot of people see the Three Cups and they're like, oh, third party. It's a possibility. It does speak also of celebration and coming together and things like that. Maybe you have a Queen of Swords in your life that kind of brings that joy in for you through this cycle that you're having. All of this conflict and all of these things that you're trying to release, maybe you have someone there that's kind of supporting you. Because it is a king and a queen here. It generally, when you couple them together like that, they're on the same level. You have a king and a queen, and they are the same suit. Now sometimes you can totally have King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and that's fine. You have different elements, but these are two people that are definitely a lot alike. And maybe that's where some of the conflict comes in. Maybe they are so much alike, and sometimes maybe they have the same inner demons they're overcoming, the battles they're coming through. They both have that tendency to fight for what they believe in, what they believe is true. And it causes, tower moments, conflicts, things like that. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see if you are a Sag and you're paired with someone that's just as outspoken and forceful as you are, then definitely, I could definitely see where the conflicts and things could come in. And then, it could make you feel like you're alone sometimes. It could definitely make you feel like that isolation. And I'm not justifying it, saying that, this relationship's something that, because I don't really see any, I don't know, I'm going to clarify. Before I speak too soon, I'm going to clarify. Because I would like to know, because this Eight of Wands is movement towards this, move it towards this, building of things and this fertility of birthing things. It's also a card of pregnancy, but I feel like this is movement towards building something that's built on a more firm foundation. You're finding your truth and then building on it. But then you have this Devil energy, which is like very. We're gonna clarify that Devil, and you have Four Swords. So definitely taking time to sit, be still, figure out what's going on mentally in your own truth, figuring out what works for you. That's Devil card. Spirit, what's this Devil card about? Devil card. Yeah. Four of Wands. So this is about stability. This is about that ultimate home, that ultimate grounding. Maybe there's some toxicity going on in a relationship, or maybe some juggling. Maybe someone, you know, is juggling. I don't want to necessarily just say two people, but we did have the Three of Cups, so it is going to be said. But generally speaking, this could also be someone juggling like career and home, you know, maybe someone that is, you know, in a commitment, but they're juggling their light and dark sides, their shadow side and their light side. Someone that's trying to overcome some kind of toxic situations within themselves, and it's affecting, you know, their stability, their home life, and they're still steadily trying to juggle. And then you have that movement forward. So this is universal. This is divine intervention of, you know, some kind of movement that's coming. That Chariot's just going. That Two of Pentacles. Maybe it's coming to a point to where they can balance out this toxicity, this negativity that's in them, and maybe it takes this grounding stability to bring forth that, you know, to make them want to move forward and change. I mean, it feels heavy, like heavy spiritual transformation here. I need one more clarification. Let's do this Tower. I want to see this Tower, and then I'm going to pull out my other deck, just because this is kind of an all over the place reading, and it's usually pretty straightforward, but this is kind of a few different things. Okay. So I'm just going to say that any Sages that are on a twin flame journey, I feel like this is where your truth's coming in. I feel like you've been battling with someone, because I usually require both in order to even confirm that. But you have, I mean, you do have the Devil, and I know the Devil is Capricorn energy. But to me, it's also somewhat of, because it is the Lovers. It's just the Lovers before they reach their level of enlightenment. You know, this is twin flame. Before the enlightenment comes, you go through the toxicity. You feel chained. You feel bound. You don't know how to escape it. You feel like you have to escape it at some point. You feel like you can't escape it when you want to escape it. That's just how the journey works. And that's for your greater good. That's for your own enlightenment. You know, like it or not, if you are on a twin flame journey, that is your person. Your twin flame is your person. It doesn't mean you have to be with them in this life. It doesn't mean you have to accept toxicity they bring into your life. But you will always be tied to them spiritually. You know, it's that saying with the red thread, the red cord that connects two people, you know, no matter how much it's tied and bound, and it can't be severed. And I'm definitely feeling that movement now. I feel like maybe some of you Sages are in a situation where there was a lot of miscommunication and arguing and issues with your twin flame, and you haven't been in communication for a while. And maybe that's what this Eight of Wands is about. It's about communication coming in. You know, the Empress, Emperor, you know, things like that. Male, female, whatever. But someone that embodies, because you can be a male and embody the Empress, just like you can be a female and embody the Emperor. I mean. But anyways, more feminine energy definitely coming in. I feel like that's what this is. It's someone's kind of come to a point of enlightenment, and they're wanting to move forward from the toxicity they've had. Because clarifying the Tower moment, which is what I clarified, the moment of, like, you know, universe steps in and boom, shakes you to the core. You have the Lovers, because the Four of Wands was on the and that's another thing. That is my twin flame indicator too. That Four of Wands and that Lovers card. Done deal. There's no, that, for me, that's my personal indicator. So that Tower mark comes in and it just jolts you. And then you have the Lovers here. And then you have the Magician. So someone is literally trying to manifest a Tower moment. And you can see here too, there's a man and a woman that are falling out of there. So maybe someone's in a karmic situation and someone's working toward manifesting, you know, ending those cycles with someone else. You know, maybe some of you are waiting. You've been waiting for a while for karmic situations to end or things to end. And you're at a point where you're kind of releasing it, letting it go. Where is that card? There was the Four of Swords. That's what that talks about a lot. You know, you come to a point of enlightenment. Truth, personal truth, spiritual truth. You're in your divine energy. You are owning who you are, or they are owning who they are, vice versa, whichever resonates. And they're manifesting this. They're definitely manifesting this. They want this moment to come in, whether someone is maybe unenlightened here and they need to become enlightened, and so someone's trying to manifest, okay, you know, maybe they'll have their aha moment and realize, boom, this is it, you know. Or someone literally has reached that pinnacle in their life where they realized what this relationship was. They realized the toxicity they brought to the table. And then they're coming in and they're trying to manifest this back. They're trying to manifest union. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely for someone too. I have 2s all over this table. I have 7s. I have a couple 4s. Yeah, and then as far as sign-wise go, I mean, we have a little bit of everything. You definitely could have a Gemini in the picture. I mean, but it is the Lovers, Aries. You got the Chariot, you got Cancer, Empress, you got Taurus. I mean, there's different zodiac signs just spewed all over this table, so I'm not going to go into exacts. But I will say that this is some kind of divine union that is either coming to a point to where it can no longer be, I don't want to say someone's running from it, but it's like someone's pushing it away. Like, maybe that's what that isolation was. Maybe it was a moment where, you know, they realized the opportunity they had and they regretted it. And then maybe that's what brought forth some kind of like spiritual truth that they were trying to seek. They were trying to move forward from it, but they couldn't. And they couldn't figure out how to juggle this person that they feel this connection with and this toxicity that they had. Maybe they had more than one person that they were focused on. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were just given into their toxic environment or inner traits that, you know, needed to heal. And then it's so funny because the Chariot's about yin and yang also, which again, the Lovers is yin and yang. The Devil energy has yin and yang on there because it's light and dark. And then you have this again. You have this light and dark. And it's about movement forward. Like, it's like, I know what I want now. I'm moving towards this and I'm not going to be stopped. Yeah, I really love this energy. And then, you know, in maybe some cases, maybe some of you, or it could be vice versa. You know, maybe someone's in a committed situation right now. And the only reason I say that is because to me this feels like, with all of the 3s that were there also, it feels like maybe there was a third-party situation before and that, you know, got released. Or maybe some of you were trying to make a choice. Yeah, let me clarify this 2 of Swords. What is this 2 of Swords? Yeah. I just mentioned a cycle, third party, things like that, karmic stuff. And then I love when Spirit does this. So you have the 2 of Swords, which is making a decision, movement forward, truth, things like that. And then you have this Queen of Wands, which of course embodies Sagittarius energy. It could be you, Sag, or it could be someone you connect with that has fire in their chart. Or maybe they're just a very passionate person. You see them as a very passionate spark of just light in your life. Either way you go. Queen of Wands. The Royal card. And then you have the Strength card, which is Leo also, which is more fire energy. But I feel like this is someone having the strength. Whether it's you or someone else, Sag. These cards are so big. I feel like it's someone having the strength to close out a cycle and to start something new. I feel like at the end of all of this, this whole journey, this enlightenment, this awakening that's happening right now, because, you know, this divine union that's happening, you're both thinking about it. Like, that's all over this. Whether it's your energy, their energy, I feel like it's mutual energy. I feel like both people are thinking about it. Both people are thinking about the good and the bad. Both people are, you know, moving on from this toxicity they had. Like, it's just wanting to manifest this. I feel like this is something you both want. You both want this moment to come in, you know, to come back together, to have this moment that just kind of, and then someone finally like gets the guts to speak their truth about how they felt about this situation, about what they felt, about what they thought, what happened, why it happened the way it did. I mean, timing has a lot to do with it, you know, especially when you have the World card. Timing has a lot to do with it. So I feel like this is another cycle that's starting again. You know, maybe it was never finished. Maybe, you know, this, I mean, obviously, if it is twin flame connection, it's not going to be finished. But, or maybe it is someone finally finishing a cycle. Some kind of cycle. And then having the strength to do it. Like, that's the big thing. You know, and I feel like it's definitely important to keep in mind that timing is fluid. So as far as energies go, you know, you may feel like you're waiting a while, and you might be. You may have been on this journey for 5-10 years, maybe 5 months. Who knows? The point is that when it's the right time, when both of you have healed and, you know, overcome wounds and raised your vibration, uplifted yourselves, that's when you need to be together. You know, when one's toxic and one's here, all it's going to do is drag. And yeah, you can help someone. Don't get me wrong. You can help uplift people. But you cannot carry someone else's burdens and everything on your back, because in the end, it's going to bring you down. And then you're not going to lift each other up. So I definitely am loving this reading, Sag. So I am going to grab just a few of my universal cards real quick, my deck. We're going to just do a quick run through of those. Let's see. All right, Spirit, is there any other messages that I can get for Sag for the month of March 2019? 2019, March. Sagittarius. One more shuffle. Okay. I love that. Especially if this is the twin flame. That's beautiful. Oh, okay. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. Anyone that has been or knows about any kind of divine journeys or journeys that you're on spiritually, the more you surrender to the universe, the quicker it gets and flows through you. Like, that's the only way I can explain it, is you have to be in flow with the universe. You know, everyone has setbacks. Everyone has things in their life that throw them off course. But when you surrender and trust in the universe, that's when they're able to come in and kind of present themselves to you. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. Totally. Raise your vibrations. All the time. All the time. You know, feel good from the inside out. And that's what you bring into your life. The greater you feel about yourself and the things that you have around you, the more happiness seems to find you. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Intention. Entirely intention. What you focus on will manifest. And if you're trying to manifest a union, like the deck so nicely put, then definitely focus on that. Focus on the positive sides of that. When I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Beautiful. Perfect way to end it. All right, Sag, I hope you guys have a fantastic March, and I will see you in a couple weeks. All right, love and light. Bye.